Hey yo guys, welcome to the WWE Judgment Day review. So anyway, Judgment Day took place from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. So overall for St. Louis they got 2 pay-per-views in 2 months, and this one was bad. So anyway, the pay-per-view started off with Carlito versus Ric Flair. It was great to see Ric Flair back on pay-per-view, but really he did nothing at all for me at all. It was a good pace to the match with Carlito just coming out and charging and taking it to Ric Flair. But all Flair did in the match was chop, 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 hip toss, chop, chop, chop. That's all he did. I mean, they made Carlito look good by going after the injured shoulder that he suffered during the match. Did Flair from Carlito. Carlito's drop kick on the floor, Flair's arm wrapped around the ring post was pretty cool. I'll give him that. But Flair looked silly in the ring, embarrassing to see the Nature Boy, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, get like annihilated in there, almost a mini squash match. This match may well have been a handicap match between Ric Flair versus Carlito and Father Time, because Flair looked like hell in there. But anyway, let's go to the finish. Flair put the figure 4 leg lock on Carlito and got the victory. So Carlito's hopes of being an IC champ or World Heavyweight champ are about done, because it doesn't look like he's going to get a push. Then the next match was the 3-on-1 handicap match for the ECW World Heavyweight title. We know it was Bobby Lashley versus Shane, Vince, and Umaga. This match had a great start. I mean, an explosion. But it was 2 minutes. The match was 2 minutes. It was pretty much Umaga missing the splash, and him spearing Umaga, and then the power slam on Shane McMahon, and then he's ECW champion. But then Vince is like, you didn't pin me, so you're not the champion, you know. That was a retarded finish. And then Umaga attacks Lashley from the back, where he sensed that, like he sensed him coming from the back to splash him. So what the hell? I mean, I expected Hogan to do something like that. Like, you didn't beat me, so you're not the champ. That was the worst match of the night, hands down. 2 minutes and all that build up for nothing. For nothing, pretty much. And then we had the next match of CM Punk versus Elijah Burke. You know, this was the best match on the card in my mind. Of the best matches in the card in my mind. We had... the crowd really didn't get into it. I mean, Punk got the huge pop, as he normally does, but the crowd really wasn't into it. I mean, they chanted boring during the 2 best matches. I didn't understand that at all. The best parts of the match is when Punk connected with his dive through the middle rope, the suicide dive. Considering he had bad ribs and all, that was pretty sweet. And the Elijah Express with Punk perched on the top rope, that was pretty cool. I mean, this match was damn good, and we had other great moves like great enziguris by Punk and stuff, but I think the match was affected, like the slowdown of the match was affected by Punk and his bad ribs. It's a shame that happened, but whatever. Punk got the win, thank God, with the go to sleep. And I hope Punk is still on pay-per-view. That'd be just good for him, man. For putting smart people on there. Then we had a good Edge promo where he just pretty much said that he did in 3 seconds what Batista couldn't do in 3 months. But anyway, the next match was HBK versus Orton. This match was so pointless. I mean, it also made HBK look bad, so HBK is going to be on gone for a while because of the knee injury. Not a concussion, the knee injury. Anyway, HBK could not continue, so they were out, and then pretty much Orton hit the RKO. That was about it. And he got a huge pop for that, which I didn't mind myself. I enjoyed that pretty much. There was a huge pop in the movie theater where I watched that. And then we had Khali's promo, butchered it to fuck, like, and then we had the World Tag Team Championship match, the Hardy Boys versus Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. I was a little bit confused at the start. Why were the SmackDown commentators calling the Raw Tag Team title match? Someone explain that to me, please. I really don't know why. Had a slow start, but you know what? This match was just thrown together to make up for the bad HBK match and how HBK couldn't go. I did only like one part in the match when JBL, Cade and Murdoch were dominating the Matt Hardy, and Murdoch went for like his version of the Vader bomb and he missed. He's like, damn, right when I'm putting him over. I just laughed at that. You shouldn't be using the wrestling terminology on pay-per-view there, JPL. Jeff Hardy missed a flip over the top rope, and anyway, the fans really did pay attention to this for some reason. I don't blame them, because this was one of the most unorganized pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, the Hardys win with the Swanton, same thing that happened at Backlash. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match, Edge versus Batista. Another slow start. The turning point in the match was when Batista's knees went to the steps. Even though Batista pretty much did dominate Edge throughout the whole match, I would say that. And Edge worked on the injured shoulder and knee and got the victory. Batista did his comeback and hurt the knee on the spine buster, and Edge rolled him up for the win. Not of the finish I wanted, but I was happy at least Edge pinned Batista clean on the mat. So, good stuff by Edge. At least Edge is still champion. Couple of good things going right for WWE there. Then we had a pointless Divas segment where it just embarrassed me to be a wrestling fan, and let's not even go in there. Let's just not. Anyway, back to some action. There was the U.S. Championship match between 2 out of 3 falls match between Chris Benoit, the champion and challenger MVP. MVP was working on the injured leg of Benoit that he suffered on SmackDown, and I did not see SmackDown, so that was news to me. It had a good start. The pace was intense, and I enjoyed that. I mean, it was like a real intense pace to the match. The first fall, I believe, when he hit the Playmaker after Benoit's knee gave out after he was trying to hit an electric chair drop on MVP. So after MVP got the first fall, I was like, okay, Benoit's going to take fall 2 and it's going to go down to the last fall. Typical 2 out of 3 falls match. But no, didn't happen. I mean, this also got a "this is boring" chant. And MVP won with forcing Benoit to submit. I believe he did that. He took 2 straight falls. Oh yeah, no, MVP torqued Benoit's knees and rolled him up for a pin. So MVP took 2 straight. We have a new U.S. champion. At least they finally did take hands, and I did know that was going to happen. So anyway, on to the main event from hell, as Monoxide would say. WWE Championship match between champion John Cena, aka Superman, versus the Great Khali. Cena had a quick start, but it was for nothing. Khali just manhandled him after that. I really wasn't paying attention to it until I saw the big 7-foot monster, the Great Khali, do a roundhouse kick. That was pretty cool. Let's give Khali props on that. Then Khali was in the ropes like a la Andre. That was a turning point in the match. Cena drop kicks the stairs, injures the Great Khali's knee or tweaks it, and Cena hits the drop off the top rope. STFU. Khali taps out. They definitely rang the bell before Khali tapped out, so whatever. Anyway, this was a terrible pay-per-view, but I went 6 for 8 on the matches, only getting Carlito, Flair, and HBK Orton wrong. So that was Judgment Day. I would give this pay-per-view, I don't know, a 5. The fans weren't really into it, considering there's been 2 pay-per-views and Lockdown just annihilated Judgment Day. But you really can't compare them two because Lockdown is a gimmick pay-per-view. But anyway, that's my Backlash review, or Judgment Day review. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.